I got a freaking cracker in my mouth. I ate a bunch of hard salami earlier. Anyway, chat. Welcome to Weird Wikipedia. I was really struggling to figure out what to stream today. And this is a good saltine. Anyway, and someone suggested this since it did well last time, so I thought, you know what? Yeah. So I did some looking up, of course, and I got a list of 5 weird Wikipedia articles for you all. This is the same format as last time, although hopefully we are not going to skip over something. Seriously, these are good saltines. Whatever. And you'll understand what the title means a little later. First off, we got a list of unusual deaths. Should we wait for anyone else to join? Nah, we got 2 people here. It's good. So, according to the site, it says this is a dynamic list and may never be able to satisfy particular standards for completeness. You can help by adding missing items with reliable sources. You know, I was asking people. Someone said they're gonna keep referencing Minecraft YouTubers are great. Anyway, someone sent me something about a woody owl, although it was a joke thing. It wasn't a serious Wikipedia article. I was contemplating it, but now I wanted to present real, true facts. So here we go. Starting off with list of unusual deaths. A little good cracker. First off, we start in antiquity. Many of these stories are likely to be apocryphal. What the fuck does that mean? Okay, All right, I'm looking this up. APOCRYPHAL. Acrophil definition of doubtful authenticity, although widely circulated to be true. Okay, so these ones are. We don't know for certain if these are the shits. Okay. Oh, wait, shit. Cracker went down the wrong right, fuck. Water. Oh, that hurt my throat. Oh, God, that hurt my throat. We got Draco of Athens. Died circa 1620 BC. Draco, an Athenian lawmaker, was reportedly smothered to death by gifts of cloaks and hats showered upon him by appreciative citizens at a theater on Aegina. This guy got smothered by gifts. Like, gifts. You don't expect that to happen in real life. But this guy fucking... Oh, wow. Must have been a lot of heavy shit. My God. Next up is Charondas. I'm probably going to butcher the fuck out of these first names. Okay, Charondas. Late 17th to early 15th century BC. That's a long life. Yeah, whatever. Charondas was a Greek lawgiver from Sicily. According to JSCHLATT, he issued a law that anyone who brought weapons into the assembly must be put to death. One day, he arrived at the assembly seeking help to defeat some brigands on the countryside, but with a knife still attached to his belt. In order to uphold his own law, he committed suicide. This guy was so dedicated to a law he made that he fucking murked himself. I mean, I gotta give him some respect. Like, he stuck to his guns. He didn't try and backtrack. He stood by what he believed in and fucking bit it. Next one is Artion of Vigalia? I think that's how it's pronounced. Date of death, 564 BC. Artion of Figlia, a Greek pancreatist? What does that mean? Oh, it's like wrestling. A Greek pancreas caused his own death during the Olympic finals Held by his unidentified opponent in a stranglehold and unable to free himself, Acreon kicked his opponent, causing him so much pain from a foot/ankle injury that the opponent made the sign of defeat to the umpires, but at the same time broke Acreon's neck. Since the opponent had conceded defeat, Acreon was proclaimed the victor posthumously. That is definitely a weird death. Okay, that was a good one. Good. And so are these crackers. I have a very simple palate. I like saltines. Sisamines. Died circa 525 BC. According to Herodotus, Simenes was a corrupt judge under Cambyses II of Persia. He accepted a bribe and delivered an unjust verdict. As a result, the king had him arrested and flayed alive. His skin was then used to cover the seat in which his son would sit in judgment. His son would sit in judgment? There's a story here that I'm too lazy to look up. Oh, Pythagoras of Samos. I think I've heard about this guy. Ancient sources disagree on how the Greek philosopher Pythagoras died, but one late and possibly a cryptical legend reported by both Diogenes Laertius. No, wait, I thought it was the bucket guy. I thought it was the guy in the freaking who lived in the vase. Diogenes Laertius, a 3rd century AD biographer of famous philosophers, and Lampedicus, a neo-paleontologist philosopher, states that Pythagoras was murdered by his political enemies. Supposedly, he almost managed to outrun them, but then came to a bean field and refused to run through it because he had prohibited beans as ritually unclean. Since cutting through the field would violate his own teachings, Pythagoras simply stopped running and was killed. The story may have been fabricated by Neophytes of Cyzicus, on whom both Diogenes and Lambycus rely as a source. I don't fucking know how to pronounce these names. These antiquity ones are going to be fucking killer. They already are. Heraclitus of Euphestes. I think that got that one. 475 BC. According to one account given by Diogenes Laertius, the same guy from the previous one, the Greek philosopher Heraclitus was said to have been devoured by dogs after smearing himself with cow manure in an attempt to cure his dropsy. He was sick, so he smeared himself in cow shit. I get it was a different time, but how the hell does your mind immediately jump to that? How? Cracker. Themistocles, circa 459 BC. Themistocles, the Athenian general who won the Battle of Salamis, actually died of natural causes in exile, but was widely rumored to have committed suicide by drinking bull's blood. Since bull's blood is not actually poisonous, Themistocles could have not died this way. The legend is widely retold in classical sources. The early 20th century English classicist Percy Gardner proposed that the story about him drinking bull's blood may have been based on an ignorant misunderstanding of a statue showing Themistocles in a heroic pose, holding a cup as an offering to the gods. The comedic playwright Aristophanes references Themistocles drinking bull's blood in his comedy The Knights, performed in 324 BC as the most heroic way for a man to die. That was a mouthful. Holy shit. I don't think I took a breath during that. Oh, okay. So, death by bull's blood. Not poisonous. Definitely didn't happen. Very funny theory. Ashelicus. I think they fucked that up again. Ashelicus. Died 455 BC. According to Valerius Maximus, Ashelicus, the eldest of the 3 great Athenian tragedians, was killed by a tortoise dropped by an eagle that had mistaken his bald head for a rock, suitable for shattering the shell of the reptile. Pliny, in his Naturalis Historia, adds that Aeschylus had been staying outdoors to avert a prophecy that he would be killed that day by the fall of a house. This is like one of the best examples of Apollo do not interact. Oh my god. This guy went out of his way. He thought a house was gonna fall on him. And it wasn't his house. It was a turtle house, which a turtle itself fucking plomped right on his shiny bald head. It was so shiny that an eagle thought it was a rock. And why is this so funny? It's funny that he tried to he thought he was gonna die by a house falling on him, and he tried to avoid it by going outside, only for it to still fucking happen. Empedocles of Acragas. Yeah, Chad's right. Apollo do not interact taken seriously. Okay, this guy died circa 430 BC. Empedocles of Acragas was a pre-Socratic philosopher from the island of Sicily, who, in one of his surviving poems, declared himself to have become a divine being, no longer mortal. According to Diogenes Laertius, he tried to prove he was an immortal god by leaping onto Mount Anita, an active volcano. The legend is also alluded to by the Roman poet Horace. So if this one actually did happen, this guy fucking lavaed himself. That happened in an Indiana Jones movie, didn't it? I don't remember the Indiana Jones movies that well. Okay, Sophocles. Died circa 406 BC. A number of remarkable legends concerning the death of Sophocles, another of the three great Athenian tragedians. God, I probably butchered that so bad, but this is like, he's one of the greats alongside the guy who got fucking crushed by a turtle. Are recorded in the late antique life of Sophocles. According to one legend, he choked to death on an unripe grape. Another says that he died of joy after hearing his last play had been victorious. A third account reports that he died of suffocation after reading aloud a lengthy monologue from the end of his play Antigone without pausing to take a breath for commas or punctuation. One of those three has to be true. And knowing what I know about ancient Greece and the people in there, I think it was the third. I think this guy fucking suffocated after reciting this bullshit. Oh god, I think I had to do Antigone for like a thing in high school. I can't remember. Okay, Mithridates. I probably butchered that again. 401 BC. Mithridates, a Persian soldier who embarrassed his king Artaxerxes II by boasting of killing his rival Cyrus the Younger, who was the brother of Artaxerxes II, was executed by scaphism. The king's physician Cetus reported that Mithridates survived the insect torture for 17 days. I'm looking this up. What is scaphism? I'm not going to click on it because I don't want to get a disgusting picture like we did last time. What? Oh, Philetus of Kos. Okay, that's what Chow's talking about. Scaphism. Okay. Scaphism, also known as the boat or mistakenly as siphonism, is an alleged ancient Persian method of execution. It entailed trapping the victim between two boats, feeding and covering them with milk and honey, and allowing them to fester and be devoured by insects and other vermin over time. Wow. That's nasty. That's a nasty shit. That's nasty. Okay. Next one. Democritus of Aberdera. According to Diogenes Laertius, the Greek atomist philosopher Democritus of Abdera died at the age of 109. As he was on his deathbed, his sister was greatly worried because she needed to fulfill her religious obligations to the goddess Artemis in the approaching 3-day Themyscira festival. Democritus told her to place a loaf of warm bread under his nose, and he was able to survive for 3 days of the festival by sniffing it. He died immediately after the festival was over. This guy sustained himself for 3 days. This 109-year-old guy sustained himself for 3 days by sniffing bread. My good sir, it does not work like that. This bread sniffing mofo thought he could survive. Next one. Antiphanes died circa 310 BC. Antiphanes was a renowned comic poet of the Middle Attic comedy. The Suda claims he was died after being struck by a pear. Hold up, what? Yeah, he died after being hit by a fruit. It had to have been an unripe pear if this is true, because pears are pretty mushy. Like, if you were hit by a pear, it just probably splat against your face. It hurt, but it wouldn't fucking kill you. Like, what? That one just confuses me. Okay, next one. Agathocles of Syracuse died 289 BCE. Agathocles, a Greek tyrant of Syracuse, was murdered with a poisoned toothpick. I don't know how that went down. Poisoned toothpick. Like, did someone poke him with a poisoned toothpick? Or was he fucking cleaning his teeth and he got poisoned that way? I'm betting it was the latter. So that's a very interesting way to go. This is the one chat was talking about. They read it as Philza. Philetes of Kos. I probably mispronounced that. Circa 270 BC, Philetes of Kos, a Greek intellectual, is said by Athenaeus to have studied arguments and erroneous words usage so intently that he wasted away and starved to death. British classicist Alan Cameron speculates that Philetes died from a wasting disease, which his contemporaries joked was caused by his pendary. Pendary? Okay, so this guy was really, really fucking concerned with what he was studying, and apparently he wasted away from it. He was so focused on that shit. Oh, next one we actually have a date instead of just a year. Queen Xin Huang, 10th of September 210 BC. Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor of China, whose artifacts and treasures include the terracotta army, died after ingesting several pills of mercury in the belief that it would grant him eternal life. Mercury. Okay. Very interesting that this guy was the first emperor of China. Very funny way to go. Oh, there's surely no way this could backfire. Did he have anyone test this beforehand? That's my concern. I don't think he had anyone test it. He just said some persons came up to him with peddling these mercury pills, like, oh yeah, these things will totally make you immortal. And he was like, no need to test it on anyone else. I'll do it. And he fucking ate him and died. Sisyphus, Chrysippus of Soli, died circa 206 BC. One ancient account of the death of Chrysippus, a 3rd century BC Greek Stoic philosopher, tells that he died of laughter after he saw a donkey eating his figs. He told a slave to give the donkey neat wine to drink to wash them down with, and then, having laughed too much, he died. That wasn't even a good joke. Probably was back then, but I just don't... That was apparently so funny he died? Stick to Stoic philosophy, because you are not good at that. Next one. Eleazar Avaran. Died circa 163 BC. Eleazar Avaran was the brother of Judas Maccabeus. According to the first Maccabeus 646, in battle, he thrust his spear into the belly of a king's war elephant, which collapsed and fell on top of Eleazar, killing him instantly. I think that might have been some religious shit. The way the fucking... I can't tell this shit. I'm just eating crackers and laughing at how people died. Portia Catanis. What? This one has 2 different dates. Okay, this is probably June 4th, 43 BC to October 42nd BC. The daughter of Marcus Porcius Cato Ucensis and second wife of Marcus Junius Brutus, according to ancient historians such as Cassius Dio and Appian, killed herself by swallowing hot coals. Modern historians find this tale implausible. And now they're chanting Unisonis. Claudius Drusus died circa 4 AD. According to Suetonius, Claudius Drusus, the eldest son of the future Roman Emperor Claudius, died while playing with a pear. Having tossed the pear high in the air, he caught it in his mouth when it came back, but he choked on it, dying of asphyxia. That is the second pear-related death we've had. This one's more believable than the previous one. Chat's talking about other streamers. Okay. But this guy choked on a pear. That was the second pear death. We're in the home stretch for the antiquities. This one was Tiberius. The 16th of March, 37 AD. The Roman Emperor Tiberius died in Misenum at the age of 78. According to Tacitus, the emperor appeared to have died, and Caligula, who was at Tiberius's villa, was being congratulated on his accession to the empire. When the news arrived that the emperor had revived and was recovering in his facilities, those who had moments before recognized Caligula as Augustus fled in fear of the emperor's wrath, while Macro, a prefect of the Praetorian Guard, took advantage of the chaos to have Tiberius smothered with his own bedclothes, definitively killing him. Okay, so this is the thing of, they thought the guy died, they celebrated, turns out the guy wasn't actually dead, they freaked out and left, and someone used this opportunity to fucking murk the guy for good. Okay, that's pretty interesting. It's like a bizarre chain of events. It's very weird. Okay, this one was Simon the Zealot. 1st century AD. According to ancient tradition, Simon, an apostle of Jesus, was sawn in half in Persia. Okay! Next one. St. Lawrence, 258 AD. The deacon St. Lawrence was roasted alive on a giant grill during the persecution of Valerian. Prudentus tells the joke that he joked with his tormentors, "Turn me over, I'm done on this side." He's now the patron saint of cooks, chefs, and comedians. I knew that about that one, and I still enjoy it. This guy was witty. His final words, he made him count. He made him funny. Valentinian I, the 17th of November, 375. Roman emperor suffered a stroke which was provoked by yelling at foreign envoys in anger. Oh, wow. Now we're at the Middle Ages, everyone. Can you get some claps? Actually, I want to check something. I tried to promote myself a bit, and I don't think... Yeah, only one person showed up. We're glad to have you here, unknown Minecraft YouTuber Flan. They just keep talking about Minecraft YouTube. Alright. Constance II, 15th of September, 668. Byzantine emperor assassinated with a bucket, according to Theophilus of Edessa. How do you... Did they drop it on his head? Did they put it at the top of the stairs? He stepped in the bucket and then fell down the stairs? How did they kill him with a bucket? How? Definitely bizarre, but I feel like it's partially bizarre because there's so little details. Okay. Ragnar Lodbrok died 865. Ragnar Lodbrok, a semi-legendary Viking leader whose exploits are narrated in Ragnar's Saga Lodbrokar, a 13th century Icelandic saga, is said to have been captured by Isla of Northumbria, who had him executed by throwing him into a pit of snakes. Okay. Louis III of France. 15th of August, 882. Louis III, King of West Francia, died aged around 18 at Saint Denis. Whilst mounting his horse to pursue a girl who was running to seek refuge in her father's house, he hit his head on the lintel of a low door and fell, fracturing his skull. Oh god, this is... Oh. This girl clearly was not interested and he fucking died for it. It was his own fucking fault. He fucking... Oh. Fucking... Ah, yes, fair maiden, I love you. Whap! Okay, next. Basil the First. The 29th of August, 1886, Basil's belt was entangled between the antlers of a deer during a hunt, and the animal subsequently dragged the emperor for 16 miles through the woods. Because of this accident, Basil contracted fever, and he died shortly afterwards. Okay, that's interesting. It wasn't the fucking 15-mile drag that killed him. It was the fever that he caught afterwards that killed him. Okay, Sigurd the Mighty of Orkney. Orkney. Did I pronounce that right? I don't know. 892. Sigurd the Mighty, the second Earl of Orkney, strapped the head of his defeated foe, Mael Brecht, to his horse's saddle. Brecht's teeth rubbed against Sigurd's leg as he rode, causing a fatal infection, according to the Old Norse Himmerstralga and Orkneyinga sagas. Okay, so that guy died because of teeth. Byzantine Emperor Alexander, the 6th of June, 913, died of exhaustion after a game of Tyson-Kion, which is basically Byzantine polo. This guy died of exhaustion after polo. He was an emperor. What? Why is... This was just so bizarre to me. I'm not sure why. Huh. Edmund Ironside, the 30th of November... 1016. Edmund Ironside, King of England in 1016, was allegedly stabbed whilst on a toilet by an assassin hiding underneath. Oh my! It is the greatest foe of all! The toilet shanker. Thank you for the follow, Marby Holding. Okay. Toilet shanker. Oh my god. Just probably jumped out. Surprise! And then just fucking killed the... That's a very unique death by toilet. Okay. Alright. Where were we? Bela the First of Hungary. The 11th of September, 1063. Bela the First of Hungary, when the Holy Roman Empire decided to launch a military expedition against Hungary to restore young Solomon to the throne, was seriously injured when his throne broke beneath him at his manor in Domos. The king, who was half dead, according to the Illuminated Chronicle, was taken to the western borders of his kingdom, where he died at the Creek Kanzia on the 11th of September, 1063. This guy's throne fell apart beneath him. How fat was he? Oh, hi! We are reading the list of unusual deaths. We are currently in the medieval era, and we finished up antiquity, so we got a lot to go. If you're an Unsolved fan, you're gonna want to stick around because I looked at this a little bit the other day, and there's some unsolved ones. Okay. Crown Prince Philip of France died the 13th of October, 1131. Crown Prince Philip of France died while riding through Paris when his horse tripped over a black pig running out of a dung heap. Stinky pig no noom, and the horse trips. Why is this so funny? Okay, Henry the First of England. No, that's not September. That's December 1st, 1135. Whilst visiting relatives, Henry supposedly ate too many lampreys against his physician's advice, causing pain in his gut and ultimately his death. Death by gluttony. That's a good way to go. I'd probably go that way. John II of Comnenos, I think that's how it says. The 1st of April. Oh, this guy died on April Fool's Day. 1143. Cut himself with a poisoned arrow during a boar hunt and subsequently died from an infection. Wow. Okay. The 20th of February, 1258. Al-Mustasim, the last Abbasid Caliph of Baghdad, I probably mispronounced that, was executed by his Mongol captors by being rolled up in a rug, then trampled by horses. Oh, wow. Efficient cleanup. Okay, where were we? Edward II of England, the 21st of September, 1327. Gotta take a sippy. Sippy. Yes, there seems to be a lot of horse-related deaths. People were batshit. Edward II of England was rumored to have been murdered after being deposed and imprisoned by his wife Isabella and her lover Roger Mortimer by having a horn pushed into his anus through which a red-hot iron was inserted, burning out his internal organs without marking his body. However, there is no real academic consensus on the manner of Edward II's death, and it has been plausibly argued that the story is propaganda. Propaganda or not, I don't think that would work. My, what a way to go. Holy shit. That's probably someone's kink. They probably would want to go like that. Oh, God. Oh. John of Bohemia died August 26, 1346. John of Bohemia, after being blind for 10 years, died in the Battle of Crecy when, at his command, his companions tied their horses' reins to his own and charged. He was slaughtered in the ensuing fight. What? Okay, so how I'm picturing this is that he took everyone else's horses, tied the reins to his own, and this blind man decided, charge! He charged in solo and fucking ate it. I'm probably very wrong, but that's how I interpreted that. Okay. Next up, Charles II of Navarre. I have a saltine in my mouth, pardon. Died the 1st of January, 1387. Charles II of Navarre, known as Charles the Bad. The contemporary chronicler Froissart relates that the king, suffering from illness and old age, was ordered by his physician to be lightly sewn into a linen sheet soaked in distilled spirits. The highly flammable sheet accidentally caught on fire, and Charles later died of his injuries. Froissart considered the horrific death to be God's judgment upon the king. I get it. Medieval medicine was really lacking, but sewing yourself to fucking linen soaked in alcohol, you're asking for it at that point. I am sorry, but you're asking for it. Alright, last one before we hit the Renaissance. Martin of Aragon died the 31st of May, 1410. Martin of Aragon died from a combination of indigestion and uncontrollable laughing. According to tradition, Martin was suffering from indigestion on account of eating an entire goose when his favorite jester, Bora, entered the king's bedroom. When Martin asked Bora where he had been, the jester replied with, "Out of the next vineyard, where I saw a young deer hanging by his tail from a tree, as if someone had so punished him for stealing figs." This joke caused the king to die from laughter. What? That's not even a funny joke. That's not a funny joke at all. I'm sorry, my dude, but how the fuck did you die from laughter from that thing? Whatever. Renaissance. George Plantagenet, Duke of Clarence. I probably butchered that again. Died 18th of February, 1478. George Plantagenet. I just pronounced it. Why am I? George of Plantagenet, first Duke of Clarence, was allegedly executed by drowning in a barrel of Malmsey wine. Apparently his own choice once he accepted that he was to be killed. Valid, this guy got to choose how he wanted to go out. Oh, fans of puppet history will know this one. The victims of the 1518 dancing plague. July 1518. Fucking 1518. My God. In July 1518, several people died of either heart attacks, strokes, or exhaustion during a dancing mania that occurred in Strasbourg, Alsace, Holy Roman Empire. God, fuck. Oh, wow, there's not a lot in Renaissance. Pietro Arnito. Okay. The 21st of October, 1556. The influential Italian author and libertine Pietro Ernito is said to have died of suffocation from laughing too much at an obscene joke during a meal in Venice. Another version states that he fell from a chair from too much laughter, fracturing his skull. Either way you slice it, this guy died from laughing. Hans Steininger, 1567. Oh, wait, I remember reading about this one. Oh, this is funny. Hans Steininger, the Burgomaster of Braunau, then Bavaria, now Austria, died when he broke his neck by tripping over his own beard. The beard, which was 4.5 feet long at the time, was usually kept rolled up in a leather pouch. This guy was so proud of his beard, and then he died because of it. Yeah, at least I'm aware I'm mispronouncing the names. I'm not going to lie and say, oh, this is how they're pronounced. This is how it's supposed to be. No, I know I'm fucking dumb. I know I'm stupid. I guess you could say that makes me smart, but then you just enter a whole paradox and I'd rather not deal with that. Anyway, Marco Antonio Bragadin, the 17th of August, 1571. Marco Antonio Bragadin, Venetian captain general of Famagusta in Cyprus, was gruesomely killed in August 1571 after the Ottomans took the city. He was dragged round the walls with sacks of earth and stone on his back. Next, he was tied to a chair and hoisted into the yardam of the Turkish flagship, where he was exposed to the taunts of the sailors. Finally, he was taken to his place of execution in the main square, tied naked to a column and flayed alive. Bragadin's skull was stuffed with straw and sewn, reinvested with his military insignia, and exhibited riding an ox in a mocking procession along the streets of Famagusta. The macabre trophy was hoisted upon the masthead pennant of the personal galley of the Ottoman commander, Amar al-Bahir Mustafa Pasha, to be brought to Constantinople as a gift for Sultan Selim II. Bragadin's skin was stolen in 1580 by a Venetian seaman and brought back to Venice, where it was received as a returning hero. This one... Okay, alright. This one is funny because of all the shit that happened to his body afterwards. It's pretty funny. Which actually reminds me, if you stick around, the third one, after the list of common misconceptions, if you look up there, you'll see Oliver Cromwell's head. Well, you won't actually see the head, you'll see the word. You'll see the article. We're going to be doing that soon enough. Okay, Tycho Brahe, 24th of October, 1601. I need a drink again. God, is it just me, or do, like, glasses of water not hold as much water as, like, bottles? Okay, Tycho Brahe, 24th of October, 1601. Tycho Brahe contracted a bladder or kidney ailment after attending a banquet in Prague and died 11 days later. According to Kepler's first-hand account, Brahe had refused to leave the banquet to relieve himself because it would have been a breach of etiquette. After he returned home, he was no longer able to urinate, except eventually in very small quantities and with excruciating pain. Oh, wow. Just show you how fucked the standards were. This guy couldn't go to the bathroom because it would have been impolite. So he couldn't even excuse himself to go to the bathroom. So he ended up holding it. Props to him for that. And then he got some sort of infection because of it. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. All right. Now entering the early modern period. I can't remember what the early modern period is. I think it's... I was about to talk out of my ass. I'm not going to do that. Okay, Safi of Persia. Died 1642. Shah Safi, a Safavid ruler of Iran, allegedly died due to alcohol intoxication in a drinking contest against a Gregorian nobleman, Shazid Khalidez, invited from Mingarelia. I probably butchered all of that. JSCHLATT reference. That is coming up later. I mentioned how there were a lot of things that were related to BuzzFeed Unsolved. I was looking at this and I found one JSCHLATT reference. It's one thing. Someone asked about a horse. I'm not going to reveal too much. Thomas Urquhart, 1660. Thomas Urquhart, a Scottish aristocrat, polymath, and first translator of Francois Rebellia's writings into English, is said to have died up laughing upon hearing that Charles II had taken the throne. The ultimate fucking burn. Wow. You hate he found the idea of this guy taking the throne so comedical that he fucking died from it. Wow. Okay, next up. James Betts, 1667. James Betts died from asphyxiation after being sealed in a cupboard by Elizabeth Spencer at Corpus Christi College, Cambridge, in an attempt to hide him from her father, John Spencer. Oh gosh. Did he die a virgin? I gotta know. Francois Vatel, 27th of April, 1671. Vatel, a major domo of Prince Louis II de Bourbon-Condé, was responsible for a banquet for 2,000 people hosted in honor of King Louis XIV, I think. Yeah, King Louis XIV, at Chateau de Chantilly, where he died. According to a letter by Madame de Sévigné, Vatel was so distraught about the lateness of the seafood delivery and about other mishaps that he committed suicide with a sword, and his body was discovered when someone came to tell him of the arrival of the fish. Oh, wow. That's unfortunate. Wow, that is very unfortunate. The fish arrives shortly after he fucking kills himself. Damn. Molière. Oh, the next... Okay, someone in the chat mentioned Molière, says this one's fun. 17th of February, 1673, the French playwright Molière suffered a pulmonary hemorrhage caused by tuberculosis while playing the part of a hypochondriac in his own play, Le Malade Imaginaire. He disguised his convulsions as part of his performance and finished out the show, which ends with his character dead in a chair. After the show, he was carried in the chair to his house where he died. Huh. The show must go on, and this man was the fucking definition of it. He gave his life for the show. Well, maybe not gave his life for the show. He was dying, and he just refuses to let the show be ruined, so hats off to him. Bahai Matidas, Bahai Satidas, and Bahai Daila all died 1675. Bahai Matidas, Bahai Satidas, and Bahai Daila are revered as early Sikh martyrs. By order of the Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb, Bahai Matidas was executed by being bound between two pillars and sawn in half, while his younger brother Bahai Satidas was wrapped in cotton wool, soaked in oil, and set on fire, and Bahai Daila was boiled in a cauldron full of water and roasted over a box of charcoal. Okay, wow. Okay. Someone in chat just said, so the funny thing about L'amour's death is that Le Malade Imaginaire translates to the imaginary illness. Okay, that does make his death a little funnier. Jean-Baptiste Lully, 22nd of March, 1687. Jean-Baptiste Lully, the French composer, died of a gangrenous abscess after accidentally piercing his foot with a staff while he was vigorously conducting a Te Deum. It was customary at that time to conduct by banging a staff on the floor. He refused to have his leg amputated so he could still dance. Oh. Ooh. God, there's so many fucking French people dying. I need my drink. I'm almost out of water, damn it. I'm doing a lot of talking, and the fact that I'm eating saltines because they're delicious is probably not helping. Okay, John Cummings. Date of death, March 1809. After seeing a circus knife swallower, Cummings began actually swallowing knives. On one occasion, he swallowed 4 knives and quickly passed 3 with no ill health. He later swallowed 14 knives, and after some days with abdominal pain, he passed all of them. He finally swallowed 20 knives and a case, but after a few days, he'd only passed the case. Oh, shit. I still had a bit of cracker in my mouth and it went down the wrong pipe. Fuck. Oh, God. Fuck. Fuck. Oh, fuck. I hope my suffering brings you all joy. Okay, but after a few days, he had only passed the case. He died after 4 years in pain. On autopsy, a knife blade and spring were found in his intestines, and between 30 and 40 fragments of metal, wood, and horn in his stomach. Oh, wow. Okay, next up, Governor Morris died the 6th of November, 1816. Governor Morris died from an infection after using a whalebone to cure a blockage in his urinary tract. Oh. Oh, that wasn't smart. Oh, shit. That is... I'm a woman, but I am cringing. That sounds so... Oh, wow. Okay, William Snyder died 11th of January, 1854. William Snyder, 13, died in San Francisco, California, reportedly after a circus clown swung him around by his heels. Matilda of Austria, died the 6th of June, 1867. Archduchess Matilda of Austria, daughter of Archduke Albrecht, Duke of Tucson, set her dress on fire while trying to hide a cigarette from her father, who had forbidden her to smoke. Oh, that one actually kind of makes me sad. I don't know why. Clement Vallandigham. Let's try this again. Vallandigham. Try it. I don't know if I did that well. 17th of June, 1871, Vallandigham, a lawyer defending a man accused of murder, accidentally shot himself while demonstrating how the victim might have done so. His client was acquitted. Henry Taylor, November 1872, Henry Taylor, a pallbearer at Kensal Green Cemetery in London, was crushed by the coffin he was helping carry after he tripped on a stone. The widow of the man in it reportedly nearly went into hysterics. Oh no. Sir William Payne Galloway, 2nd Baronet. 19th of December, 1881, Sir William Payne Galloway, a former British MP, died after sustaining severe internal injuries when he fell on a turnip while hunting. What? I'm sorry, but my mind immediately goes to he sits on the turnip. He falls on the turnip butt first. That's probably not what happened. But hold up. No, wait, severe internal injuries. It probably was the butt turnip. Imagine dying by by a vegetable in the ass. Oh, butt turnip. Oh, why is that so funny? Okay. Oh, Alan Pinkerton. This guy's well known. But his death, I want to hear about this. The 1st of July, 1884. Alan Pinkerton, the founder of the Pinkerton Detective Agency, tripped on the pavement and severely bit his tongue, which became infected with gangrene. Wow. The next one's unknown, actually. The 22nd of August, 1888, at around 8:30 p.m., a shower of meteorites fell like rain on a village in Sulaymaniyah, Iraq, then part of the Ottoman Empire. One man died and another was paralyzed. The man's death is considered the only credible case of death by meteorite. Huh. Bridget Driscoll, 17th of August, 1896. Driscoll, 44, the first recorded case of a pedestrian killed in a collision with a motor car, was struck on the grounds of the Crystal Palace in London by a car belonging to the Anglo-French Motor Carriage Company while giving demonstration rides. This one isn't a bizarre death by today's standards. It was bizarre back then because it was the first time a pedestrian had been killed by a driver. Okay, Empress Elizabeth of Austria, the 10th of September, 1898. An assassin stabbed Elizabeth with a thin file which pierced her perineum and lung. Because of her extremely tight corset held the wound closed, she did not realize what had happened, believing a passerby had struck her, and walked on for some time before collapsing. Wow. I don't think assassin would have been caught because that's a damn good assassin. Jeez. Damn. Okay. Now we're entering the 20th century. This is where the things get real. Okay. First person, unknown. Date of death, early 1903. An unnamed person was beaten to death with a Bible during a healing ceremony gone wrong in Honolulu. He was being treated for malaria when his family summoned a kahuna who decided he was possessed by devils and tried to exorcise the demons. The kahuna was charged with manslaughter. Oh, wow. Okay, next up is a very famous person, Grigory Rasputin. Died the 30th of September 1916. According to the Russian mystic's murderer himself, Prince Felix Yusupov, Grigory Rasputin consumed tea, cakes, and wine, which had been laced with cyanide. Oh, I heard about this. I'm pretty sure the cyanide broke. From what I heard, the cyanide might have broken down because of the sugar. But he did not appear to be. That's why he didn't appear to be affected by it. He was then shot once in the chest and believed to be dead. But after a while, he leapt up and attacked Yusupov, who freed himself and fled. Rasputin followed and made it into the courtyard before being shot again and then collapsing into a snowbank. The conspirators then wrapped his body and dropped it into the Maya Nevka River. Okay, that is a death. Oh, the next one is something I want to cover sometime soon. The 15th of January, 1919, 21 people were killed and 150 were injured in the Great Molasses Flood when a large tank of molasses burst in Boston's North End. I really want to do that because that sounds wild and something that that we should cover. Okay, George Herbert, 5th Earl of Carnarvon, the 5th of April, 1923. George Herbert, 5th Earl of Carnarvon, who financed Howard Carter's search for King Tutankhamun, died after a mosquito bite which he had cut while shaving became infected. Some attributed his death to the so-called Curse of the Pharaohs. Okay. Frank Hayes, 4th of June, 1923. Frank Hayes, a 22-year-old jockey of Elmont, New York, died of a heart attack mid-race and collapsed on the horse, which nonetheless crossed the finish line first, still carrying his body. That horse was... I was gonna say something, but then I forgot. My brain. Good lord. Thornton Jones. 1924. Thornton Jones, a lawyer in Bangor, Gwynedd, Wales, woke to find that he had his throat slit. Motioning for a paper and pencil, he wrote, "I dreamt that I had done it. I awoke to find it true," and died 80 minutes later. He had done it himself while conscious. An inquest at Bangor delivered a verdict of suicide while temporarily insane. So that guy ended up killing himself because he dreamt it. Oh no. Next up, Bobby Leach. 26th of April, 1926, Bobby Leach, an American stunt performer, died after a botched amputation of the infected leg, which he had broken after slipping on an orange peel. He had gone over Niagara Falls in a barrel 15 years earlier. Okay. Funny that a stuntman, the thing that takes him out, was slipping on an orange peel. Huh. Philip McLean, 1926. Philip McLean, 16, and his brother were clubbing a casserie on the family property in Mossman, Queensland, when it knocked him down, kicked him in the neck, opened a large cut leading to death from loss of blood. I feel like he was asking for it because he was hitting her, because they were hurting a bird. They were probably trying to kill it, so he got what he deserved. Isora Duncan, 14th of September, 1927. Isora Duncan, a dancer, broke her neck when her long scarf caught on the wheel of a car she was riding in. Oh no. Oh, that didn't sound good. Oh no. Nicholas Chomper, 17th of June, 1939. Nicholas Chomper, an aviator and aircraft designer, was attempting to light a firework in Hythe, Kent, when a passerby inquired what he was doing. Chomper replied that he was an IRA man planning to blow up the town hall. The passerby knocked down Chomper, who hit his head on the curb. Okay. That guy was playing a joke, and he said a joke, and they took the joke seriously, which I don't know much about the IRA, so I assume it was a serious thing, and he fucking died. Sherwood Anderson, 8th of March, 1941. Sherwood Anderson, an American writer, died of peritonitis after accidentally swallowing a toothpick. Damn. You know, we are, like, if you look over here, we are halfway at the 50-minute mark. I still want to get to Oliver Cromwell's head because someone requested it, so I think we're only going to be able to do 2 today. Jesus Christ. Okay, Thomas Mantle, the 7th of January, 1948. Thomas Mantell, the pilot of a P-51 Mustang fighter plane, crashed while in pursuit of an unidentified flying object near the town of Franklin, Kentucky, thus becoming the first person known to have died as a result of a UFO sighting. Officially, the object remains unidentified, though the most likely explanation is that it was a U.S. Navy skyhook balloon. Oof. Oh, first one! I'm trying to clap, but I have a pen in my hand. First one. BuzzFeed fans rejoice. For the next one up is Mary Reeser. Died the 2nd of July, 1951. Mary Reeser's body was found by the police almost totally cremated where she sat while the apartment was relatively damage-free. Some speculate she spontaneously combusted. Okay. So that is our first BuzzFeed Unsolved thing. That's woo! I'm very upset that it's the last season. Okay. Gareth Jones, 1958. Gareth Jones, an actor, died of a heart attack between scenes of a live television play Underground on the ITV network in the UK. Other members of the cast improvised lines such as, "I'm so sure if so-and-so were here, he would say," to compensate for his absence. Coincidentally, his character was supposed to die of a heart attack in a later scene of the play. Wow. Life imitates art. Okay, 1960s. John A. Barnes, Richard Leroy McKinley, and Richard C. Legg in 1961. Oh, this one's got a beefy. Okay, I gotta need to finish this cracker because this one's gonna probably take a lot out of me. Oh, we're going to the JSCHLATT reference. The JSCHLATT reference, if I remember correctly, is in the 2000s. So, wait, unknown Minecraft YouTuber fan. Wait. Okay. I promise you will have your JSCHLATT reference. During the testing of an experimental nuclear reactor design in Idaho Falls, Idaho, 2 soldiers and a sailor were killed, but their deaths were not due to radiation poisoning. While trying to bring the reactor online, Army Specialist John A. Barnes was supposed to pull a control roll partway out by hand, but he pulled out the rod further than intended. The reactor instantly went critical, which flash boiled the water around the reactor. The force of the steam expanding lifted the entire reactor into the air about 2.77 meters, 1 foot 9 inches up, in what has been described as a water hammer-like effect. Many components were thrown out of the top, one of which impaled Navy electrician's mate Richard C. Legg, lifted him from the catwalk, and penetrated the ceiling, leaving him dangling. Okay, so hold up. Someone entered my room for a second and said something. I didn't see who it was. I was too focused. So let's try that again. Many components were thrown out of the top, one of which impaled Navy electrician's mate Richard C. Legg, lifted him from the catwalk, and penetrated the ceiling, leaving him dangling. Oh. While the reactor was airborne, the radioactive steam escaped, spraying the room. The steam was so hot that Barnes instantly died by severe burns. Army Specialist Richard Leroy McKinley suffered a head wound from which he died later that day. The steam left the bodies of all 3 men radioactive, so they were buried in lead coffins. Officials feared that moving them would risk spreading contamination along public roadways, so the graveyard was established in the desert only 0.5 kilometers from the explosion. The graveyard is still monitored by the Environmental Protection Agency. The 3 remain the only human beings killed by a reactor explosion in the United States. Whew. Wordy. Okay. Okay. Nick Piantanita. I probably butchered that. 1966. Nick Piantanita, a skydiver, died 4 months after an attempt to break the record for the highest parachute jump near Joseph's Field, Sioux Falls, South Dakota. His suit has depressurized, causing brain damage. Ooh. Not sure if that would count as bizarre, but... Okay. We have reached the 1970s, and I'm starting to get a headache. I fear we might not even get to the other article today. I'm so worried. George Dabrowski, Vladislav Volkolov, and Viktor Patsiev. 1971. On June 29, 1971, Soviet cosmonauts George Dabrowski, Vlad Volkov, and Viktor Patsiev died when their Soyuz 11 spacecraft depressurized during preparation for re-entry. These are the only human deaths outside the Earth's atmosphere. Okay. Basil Brown, 1974. Basil Brown, a 48-year-old health food advocate from Croydon, England, died from liver damage after he consumed 7 million units of vitamin A and around 10 U.S. gallons of carrot juice over 10 days. Turning his skin bright yellow? I imagine at the time of his death, this guy looked like a Simpson character. Alex Mitchell, 1975. After watching the Kung Fu Capers episode of The Goonies, Alex Mitchell laughed continuously for 25 minutes and then fell dead on his sofa from heart failure due to what doctors discovered years later via his granddaughter was a genetic condition called long QT syndrome. Okay. All right. Tina Christopherson, 1977. Tina Christopherson died when she fanatically drank 4 gallons of water a day to combat stomach cancer. Okay, that's a very interesting. That's an interesting way to. This woman basically drowned herself. Holy cow. Tom Price and Frederick Jansen Van Buren, the 5th of March, 1977. Tom Price, a driver in the 1977 South African Grand Prix, struck and killed Frederick Jansen Van Buren at 170 miles per hour as Van Buren ran across the Kyalami racetrack to extinguish a burning car. The fire extinguisher which Van Buren was carrying struck Price's head and killed him. Ooh. Kurt Gödel, 1978. Gödel, an Austrian-American logician and mathematician, developed an obsessive fear of being poisoned and refused to eat food prepared by anyone but his wife. When she became ill and was hospitalized, he starved. Okay. Georgy Markov. 7th of September 1978, Georgy Markov was assassinated on a London street via a micro-engineered pellet containing ricin fired into his leg from an umbrella wielded by someone associated with the Bulgarian Secret Service. At the time, this secret police force was affiliated with the KGB. Robert Williams, 1979. Robert Williams, a worker at the Ford Motor Company plant, became the first known person to be killed by a robot when the factory robot's arm struck him in the head. Weird claim to fame. John Bowen, 1979. John Bowen, 20, from Nashua, New Hampshire, was killed at a halftime show at Shea Stadium when a 40-pound model plane shaped like a lawnmower crashed into the stands. Wait, hold up. Hold up. Trying to find a good picture of it. This lawnmower was killed at a halftime show at Shea Stadium when a 40-pound model plane shaped like a lawnmower crashed into its stands. I can never look at this GIF the same way again. This lawnmower. It killed a man. My God. Anyway, next one. Okay. Lourdes Maria de Silva, August 1980. Lourdes Maria de Silva was going upstairs carrying a Pyrex glass in Caxias do Sul, Brazil, when she tripped, broke, and fell into shards, cutting her neck artery. She died on the way to the hospital. I don't think that's exactly a weird way to die. That's just an accident, a tragic accident. Boris Sagal, 22nd of May, 1981. Boris Sagal, a Ukrainian-American film director, died while shooting the TV miniseries World War III in Portland, Oregon, after he walked into a tail rotor blades of a helicopter and was partially decapitated. He died 5 hours later at a hospital in Portland. He managed to survive 5 hours after being partially decapitated? What? Huh? Okay. David Grunman, 4th of February, 1982. David Grunman, shooting at cacti with a shotgun near Lake Pleasant, Arizona, was crushed when a 4-foot-tall limb detached and fell on him. How close was he to the cactus? How close was this man to the cactus that he got crushed by the falling limb? Like, even if it was a big cactus, cactus don't grow out, they grow up. How fucking close was he? He was asking for it at that point. I'm sorry. Michael Scaglione, 15th of April, 1982. Michael Scaglione died after smashing his golf club against a golf cart. The head broke off and impaled him in the throat, severing his jugular vein. Oh, that is all. Ooh, that's vivid. Oh, that is vivid. Vic Morrow, Micah Din Lee, and Rini Shin Yi Chen. 23rd of July, 1982. On the 23rd of July, 1982, during the filming of Twilight Zone the movie, Morrow, Micah Lindy, 7 years old, and Rini Shin Yi Chen, 6, were performing a scene in which their characters are pursued by a helicopter. Heat from the special effects explosions caused the helicopter to fall on them. Morrow and Lee were decapitated, and Chen was crushed. Oh. Okay. Tennessee Williams, an American playwright, choked on the plastic cap of a bottle of barbiturate, not eye drops as originally reported. I think barbiturate's a type of alcohol. I could be very, very wrong. Oh my god, my headache. Truls Helveg, 1983. Truls Helveg, a Norwegian diver, was explosively dismembered in a diving bell accident on the North Sea Byford Dolphin drilling rig. He was exposed to an 8-atmosphere change in air pressure, which instantly forced his body through a 6-centimeter diameter opening, fragmenting it into numerous pieces. 3 other divers were also killed in the accident. Wow. But why was he the only one mentioned? So I imagine the others were killed by the others were killed by the diving bell. He pretty much exploded from the change in air pressure inside his body. Wow. This thing was funny. Dick Wertham, a tennis lineman, died after a ball struck him in the groin and he fell out of his chair. Damage to his dick caused the death of Dick. This was also in 1983. Oh, wow. Okay. That brought me up a little. Jimmy Frazero, 1983. Jimmy Frazero, a bouncer at the Condor Club in San Francisco, died while engaging in sexual intercourse with his girlfriend, Theresa Hill, on a grand piano that was lowered from the ceiling by a hydraulic motor. He accidentally activated the lifting mechanism, which pinned him against the ceiling, leading to his suffocation. Hill survived the accident. That's one way to get high. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. John Eric Hexum, an American actor, died after playing a simulated Russian roulette with a 4.4 Magnum pistol loaded with blanks. They contained paper wadding, and when he pulled the trigger against his temple, the wadding was propelled to the force that broke his skull, causing massive brain bleeding. Oof. 1984, an unidentified 25-year-old man was using submersion as the neurotic asphyxia method. With a homemade plastic bodysuit, he tied himself to a boat and was using a homemade diving apparatus for air supply. He died from rebreathing caused by the faulting apparatus. Oh, wow. I mean, I guess he couldn't ask anyone to help him build it since it was for a sex thing. It'd be kind of embarrassing. Franco Braun, 1987. Braun, 22, an inmate at the Metro Toronto East Detention Center in Canada, died trying to swallow a pocket-sized Bible. A weird way to go. The next one is quite the doozy, my chat. This is gonna... Kashi the Poodle, Maria Espina, Ida Sola, and an unidentified man. 1988. A poodle named Kachi in Caballito, Buenos Aires, fell from 13 floors and fatally hit 75-year-old Maria Espina, killing both instantly. In the course of the events, 46-year-old Ida Sola, who came to see the incident, was fatally hit by a bus. An unidentified man who witnessed her death had a heart attack and also died on his way to the hospital. Oh my god. What a chain of events. Holy cow. Holy cow. Oh my god. Okay, Ivan Lester McGuire. 2nd of April, 1988. On the 2nd of April, 1988, veteran skydiver Ivan Lester McGuire was filming a jump by instructor and student from the Franklin County Sports Parachute Center. When he jumped from the plane without a parachute, focused on the filming process, he apparently forgot to put one on, and his camera equipment may have been mistaken for one. The tape was recovered. Oh, that's haunting. The tape of someone's last moments. Unknown, December 1988, 2 workers in an aluminum factory in Romania broke employment regulations when they stripped themselves completely and played with the air hose One of them pumped 6 bars of atmospheric pressure into his anus, causing internal hemorrhaging, and died within minutes. What? What? Just poof. Oh my god. I don't. That is just ridiculous. This was actually. I'm speechless. I don't know what to say about this one. Oh my god. Last one for the 80s. Michael Goodwin. March 1989. Michael Goodwin, a criminal convicted of murder, was initially given a death sentence by electrocution before being reduced to life imprisonment. Goodwin died from electrocution when he bit into wires while attempting to fix a broken television set at the same time, sitting on a metal toilet in his prison cell. He avoided the death penalty, only to die by electrocution still. Hello, Aurora Boreal. I think today's going to be a shorter stream than recently, but you just came in time for us to reach the 1990s. God, we're only around halfway, and I've been streaming for an hour. My throat's already sore. Oh, God. Pray for me. If you don't pray for me and you just want to see me suffer, fair enough. Daniel John O'Brien, 14th of January, 1990. Daniel John O'Brien, 31, committed suicide by jumping into one of the engines of a British Airways Boeing 747 at Purico International Airport, Trinidad. He was naked, scaled 2 fences with barbed wire on top, fought off 4 security guards, and commandeered a 4-wheel drive vehicle which he drove into the jet sitting on the runway with its engine running. We're getting to the JSCHLATT reference. I already told you it's in the 2000s. Oh. This guy wanted to send a message. This man wanted to send a message with his death. I can almost commend it. Wow. Brandon Lee, 31st of March, 1993. Brandon Lee, a 28-year-old film actor, martial artist, and son of Bruce Lee, was killed by an improperly loaded prop gun while filming. Yeah, I know this one. He was filming The Crow, if I'm correct. Gary Hoy, the 9th of July, 1993. 38-year-old Gary Hoy, a lawyer in Toronto, fell from the 24th floor of the Toronto Dominion Center while demonstrating that its windows were unbreakable. He threw himself against one, which, true to his assertion, did not break, but instead popped out of his frame. Oh, another BuzzFeed Unsolved one. Gloria Ramirez, 1994. Gloria Ramirez, 31, died from kidney failure relating to her cervical cancer. While treating her several of the hospital staff became ill, suffering from loss of consciousness, shortness of breath, and muscle spasms. Shortly before dying, she was allegedly covered with an oily sheen which smelled of fruit and garlic. When drawing her blood with a syringe, nurses noticed it had a smell similar to ammonia, and there were unusual particles floating in it. Okay, Mark Gleason, 9th of March, 1996. 26-year-old Mark Gleason from Headley Down, Hampshire, insisted on attempting to cure his incurable snoring with his girlfriend by taking sleeping pills and inserting tampons into his nose. He died from suffocation, with the sleeping pills adding to his breathing difficulties. Ooh. This name is weird. Quimby Gigliotti? Gigliotti? The 2nd of June, 1997. Quimby Gigliotti, 18, a senior at Napa High School, died when a water slide collapsed after students tried to fit as many of themselves in it as possible. 32 others were injured. Ooh. Oh, next one's a Karen. Karen Wetterhan. Karen Wetterhan died in 1997. Can I help you? I'm still streaming. Hi. My dad came in just to say hi. Okay. Died in 1997. Karen Wetterhan, a professor of chemistry at Dartmouth College, died 10 months after a few drops of dimethylmercury or organomercury compound, one of the strongest known neurotoxins, landed on her protective gloves. Although she had been following the required procedures, it permeated the gloves and her skin within seconds. Ooh. As a science person, that one just hits home. Bennett Society football team, October 1998, an entire football team of 11 in eastern Kasai, Dominican African Republic of the Congo were fatally struck by lightning while playing. The other team left the scene unharmed. Wow. Alberto Fargo, 1998. Alberto Fargo of Lisbon, Portugal, died from falling out of a 5-story window while performing a tango. According to witnesses, Fargo was demonstrating to students how to keep their head high by looking at the ceiling and failed to notice the open window beside him. Jonathan Capewell, 1998. Jonathan Capewell, 16, died from heart attack brought on by the buildup of butane and propane in his blood after excessive use of deodorant sprays. He was reported to have been obsessed with personal hygiene. So that guy used too much spray on deodorant. He used too much Axe, and he fucking died. John Lewis, 12th of April, 1999. 64-year-old John Lewis, a businessman from Minsterworth, England, attempted to light a bonfire with gasoline, but inadvertently set his clothes on fire. He then ran to a river, jumped in it, and eventually drowned. Although the incident occurred on the 12th of April, 1999, his body was not found until the 30th of April, 1999. 35-year-old... Okay, next one was chemistry. 25th of April, 1999. 35-year-old Valerie Osaya, an English DJ, was the front seat passenger in a car traveling on the M3 motorway in Hampshire, England, behind a van which dislodged a cat's eye in the road. The steel body flew through the windscreen, hitting Osaya in the face. She was killed instantly. The coroner recorded a verdict of accidental death. What's the cat's eye? Oh, one of those things. Oh, shit. 4 Palestinians died in September of 1999. 4 Palestinians, apparently protesting a newly signed Israel-Palestine agreement, attempted to detonate car bombs in the Israeli cities of Tiberias and Haifa at 6 p.m., but due to miscommunication resulting from a change in Israeli time zone from the other Middle Eastern countries, they were about an hour behind schedule, and all were killed when their own bombs detonated en route to their intended respective targets. Hisaya Oichi. On 30 September 1999, Oichi and 2 other technicians, Masato Sayahara and Yuki Yokonawa, were improperly preparing a reactor full fuel for the Joyo reactor at the Tokai nuclear power plant, leading to a critical accident. The technicians' desire to quicken the process led to numerous safety protocols being bypassed, resulting in 6 kilograms of dissolved enriched uranium to be contained in the precipitation tank, as opposed to the safe limit of 2.4 grams. Oichi who was holding a funnel through which uranyl nitrate was being poured into the feeder tank, was dosed with approximately 17 sieverts of radiation and received the highest dose of 3. After being transferred to the hospital, his condition rapidly deteriorated, though doctors were instructed to repeatedly revive him whenever his heart stopped, at the wishes of his family. Attempts at treatment included the early use of peripheral stem cell transplantation and were carried out over the course of almost 3 months, but they ultimately failed, and he died on the 21st of December 1999 following an unrecoverable cardiac arrest. Of the other 2, Shinohara died of multiple organ failure complicated by infections following numerous attempts at treatment on the 27th of April 2000, while Yokokawa, who received the smallest dose, survived following 3 months of hospitalization. Oh my god, my throat is really fucking hurting me. My throat is really fucking hurting me. Oh god. I gotta see how many we have left. Okay. We don't actually have that many left. Okay, we can do this. We can do this. 2000s. Here we go. Here we go. Bliss Scott, 2000. Bliss Scott 7 died after touching an African snail from which she contracted meningocephalus caused by Angiostronchus cantosis. Okay. Bernard Brands, 9th of March, 2001. Bernard Brands, a German engineer from Berlin, was willingly slaughtered so that he could be butchered and eaten by cannibal Armin Mewis. He had responded to an internet advertisement in which Mewis had placed for this purpose. In prison, Mewis became a vegetarian. That's interesting. Okay. Michael Colombini, 2001. Michael Colombini, 6, died during an MRI scan at the New York area hospital after an oxygen tank was magnetically pulled into the machine and fractured his skull. That sucks. Brianne Cecil, 18th of March 2002. Brianne Cecil, 13, died from injuries at an NHL hockey game after a deflected puck struck her in the left temple. She was the first and only fan fatality in the NHL's history. Brian Douglas Wells, another unsolved one. Brian Douglas Wells, 28th of August 2003. Brian Douglas Wells, a pizza delivery man from Erie, Pennsylvania, was killed by an explosive collar around his neck as part of a bank robbery scheme. Hitoshi Nikado, 2003. Hitoshi Nikado, a doctor in Houston, Texas, was decapitated after his head got trapped in an elevator doors at his workplace, his head being removed from his body as the elevator ascended. Philip Quinn, 2004. Philip Quinn, 24, from Kent, Washington, was killed when a lava lamp he was heating on a stove exploded and a shard pierced his heart. Ouch. Unknown, 2004. A Dutch teen died after attempting to break the running record by jumping out of his car that had been set to cruise control at 20 miles per hour. Francis Daniel Brome, the 2nd of September 2004. John Hutcherson, 21, drove home drunk with his friend. Francis Brome, 23, hanging out the passenger window. Hutcherson drove off the road and sideswiped a telephone pole wire, decapitating Brome. He continued the final 12 miles to Atlanta, Georgia home, parked in the driveway, and went to bed. A neighbor found Brome's headless body in the truck the next morning. Here's the JSCHLATT reference, everyone. Here you wanted it. You fucking want it. Kenneth Pian, 2005. Kenneth Pian died from injuries caused by anal sex with a stallion. When you open a new tab, it's the Umaquan horse sex case. This is the JSCHLATT reference you all fucking wanted. I'll cover that one next time. Shit, my throat. Because I think we're only going to be able to get through this one. Mildred Bowman and Alice Wardle, 2005. Mildred Bowman, 62, and Alice Wardle, 68, were two sisters killed in Benidorm, Spain after being trapped for 4 days when their folded-up Murphy bed collapsed. Ugh. I need to finish this before I get added to this desk from, like, suffocation or sore throat. My God. Unknown, 2000... No, wait, fuck. I lost my place. Unknown. January 2005, a 55-year-old man in Croatia known as Marco attempted to clean the chimney in his workshop when he decided to join a grenade to his broom via a chain. He died when the grenade detonated as he welded the grenade to the chain. Steve Irwin, rest in peace. 4th of September 2006, Steve Irwin, an Australian wildlife expert and television personality, was pierced in the heart by a short-tailed stingray's barb while filming in shallow waters in the Great Barrier Reef. Fuck, my throat! Humberto Hernandez, 21st of June 2007. Humberto Hernandez, a 24-year-old from Oakland, California, was struck in the face by an airborne fire hydrant when a passing car struck in. The water pressure shot at him with great force. Phew! That one's actually kind of comedic. God, my fucking throat. Yeah, I'm definitely not getting to Oliver Cromwell. We're doing Oliver Cromwell next stream alongside the horse sex scandal, and someone requested a thing about eggs. Lydia Texkova, February of 2008. Bulgarian teacher Lydia Texkova and her husband Grigory with another colleague, Nesia Lidnova, began pouring chemical waste into a drain cover in Sofia. The chemicals reacted with the gases in the sewers and caused an explosion. The drain covered, decapitating Texkova, and the blast injuring her husband and Lubinova. Wow. Aldair Antonio Di Carli, the 21st of April 2008. Aldair Antonio Di Carli, a Brazilian Catholic priest and skydiver, undertook a cluster balloon flight on the 20th of April 2008. The intention was to break the endurance records for that and raise funds for charity. However, contact was lost partway through. The lower part of his body was found floating in the sea 11 weeks later on July 4th. Oh, that's no good. Thank you for the follow, Zilkin. Fuck. Okay, focus. Focus. You said come on, Madeline. You set out to do something. You're gonna fucking do it. Your throat's hurting like crazy, but come on. You set out to do it. At least finish this article. You made a promise to your viewers, and you are going to keep it. Let's do this thing. David Feichel, 5th of July 2008. David Feichel, 50, the last resident in a block of flats due to be demolished in Bishop near Southampton, England, decapitated himself with a chainsaw to highlight the injustice of being forced to move out of it. That's like Up, but rated R, I feel. Yeah. Judy K. Zagorski, 2008. Judy K. Zagorski died of blunt force cranocerebral trauma when a 45-pound spotted eagle ray leapt out of the water and knocked her over. It also died. So basically, Ray's suicide. She was just standing by the beach, I imagine. A sea pancake comes jumping out of the water, flops on top of her. She hits the ground and dies, and the thing dies as well. Unknown, 2008. A 43-year-old Irish mother of 4 died of an allergic reaction after having sex with a German Shepherd? Its owner, Sheen McDonald, and the woman met in an internet chat room for bestiality. McDonald was prosecuted and added to a sex offender list. Unknown, the 3rd of March 2009, a 14-year-old boy from Jingzhou, Shandong, China was killed when a pneumatic cylinder in his office chair exploded. Mark Friedrich, the 13th of April 2009, Mark Friedrich, a 54-year-old former Major League Baseball pitcher of the Detroit Tigers, died while working underneath his dump truck when his clothes became entangled with the power takeoff drive shaft, suffocating him. Ooh. Oh, God, my head's hurting. Taylor Mitchell, the 28th of October 2009. Taylor Mitchell, a 19-year-old Canadian folk singer, was killed by a pair of coyotes while hiking in Cape Breton Highlands National Park. In the only known fatal coyote accident on an adult. Larry L. Murchel Maconda, 28th of November 2009. Larry L. Murchel Maconda, a 25-year-old supermarket employee from Council Bluffs, Iowa, is believed to have fallen into the 18-inch gap between the cooler and the wall and become trapped. His body was discovered 10 years later when the cooler was removed. Holy fuck! Oh God, how much do I have left? Oh no! Oh no! I'm actually fucking teary up. My throat is killing me. I can't stop fucking talking. Should I keep going, chat? Chat, I need validation. Should I keep going? I don't know if I can. The screaming isn't helping. Screaming is not helping. That made a mess. Come on, Vaughn. There's 3 viewers. It's the most you've had in a while. Well, actually, I had 3 last time. But these are like the most viewers I've gotten. This is like my average, and this is the most I've gotten. Like, okay, enough with the progression. All right, Maraca Jenny Vernicombe, date of death 2010. Maraca Jenny Vernicombe, 42, was decapitated by a piece of metal pipe flung by a tractor-pulled lawnmower as she walked to work in Townsville, Australia. My main takeaway from that is that there's an actual place in the world named Townsville, and it wasn't just made up by Powerpuff Girls. Mike Edwards died 3rd of September 2010. Mike Edwards, 62, a cellist and founding member of the band Electric Light Orchestra, died when a large round bale of hay rolled down the hill and collided with the van he was driving. Jimmy Hendelson, 26th of September 2010. Jimmy Hendelson, 62, owner of Segway Inc., died after apparently riding a Segway personal transport system off a cliff in Thorpe Arch, England. The coroner came to the conclusion that Hendelson had likely fallen from the cliff with the Segway after getting into difficulty reversing to allow a man to walk his dog to pass him. Mr. Lee, 7th of October 2010. A wheelchair-bound man known as Mr. Lee was caught on camera angrily banging on elevator doors 3 times with his wheelchair after missing the elevator in a shopping mall in Daejeon, South Korea. The first 2 bangs loosened the door, while on the 3rd bang, Mr. Lee went into the elevator shaft and fell 6 meters, aka 19 feet, to his death. Jose Luis Ochoa, 2011. Jose Luis Ochoa died after being stabbed in the leg at an illegal cockfight in Tulare County, California, by a bird with knife-like spurs strapped to his leg? Let's pause for a second. Bird with spurs. This was a cowboy cock. I want to know if he was the one who outfitted the chicken with them or if it was someone else, but why does this one stick out to me? I don't know. Edward Archibald, 2012. Edward Archibald, 32, of West Palm Beach, choked on arthropod body parts during a cockroach eating contest. Erica Marshall, 2012. Erica Marshall, 28, a British veterinarian in Ocala, Florida, died when the horse she was treating in a hyperbaric oxygen chamber kicked the wall, releasing a spark from its horseshoes and triggered an explosion. The horse was also killed by the explosion. Oh, wow. Ida Victor Maselli, The 28th of September 2012, 88-year-old Ida Victor Maselli died in a Brazilian hospital in Barmassa, south state of Rio de Janeiro, allegedly as a result of nursing technicians injecting soup through her IV vein instead of her feeding tube. That's just negligence. Another BuzzFeed Unsolved one. Elisa Lam, February 2013. Elisa Lam from Vancouver, British Columbia, was missing for several weeks before being found dead in a large water tank on the roof of the Cecil Hotel in Los Angeles after guests complained about low pressure and foul smell of the water. Takuya Nagaya, 2013. Takuya Nagaya, 23, from Japan, started to slither on the floor and claimed he had become a snake. He died after his father spent the next 2 days headbutting and biting him to drive out the snake that had possessed him. Wow. Richard Miro was crushed in 2013. Was crushed by a trash compactor while looking through a dumpster for his phone. An unnamed Brazilian fisherman, 60, died in 2013 by bleeding to death after being bitten by a beaver, which he had tried to grab in order to have his picture taken with it. They knew how old he was, but they didn't know who he was? What the fuck? João Maria de Sousa, this was in 2013, 45, was crushed in his bed by a cow? Falling through the roof of his home in Cataraga, Minas Gerais in southeast Brazil. It had climbed on top of the house from a steep hillside behind it. Both it and Sousa's wife, who were in the bed next to him, were unharmed. What the fuck? Oh no. Denver Lee St. Clair, 58, was asphyxiated by an atomic wedgie administered by his stepson during a fight. After he had been knocked unconscious, the elastic band from his torn underwear was pulled over his head and stretched around his neck, strangling him. Kendrick Johnson, 10th of January 2013. Kendrick Johnson, 17, was discovered trapped upside down inside a rolled-up gym mat in his high school gym. Police originally concluded he had climbed into it to retrieve a shoe and became trapped, but the case was later reopened as a possible homicide. James Campbell, January 2013. 68-year-old James Campbell left his van open to a gate. Meanwhile, his dog stepped on the van's gas pedal and the van ran him over. Miguel Martinez, 2013. Miguel Martinez, 14, from Lubbock, Texas, was impaled through the chest by a bull statue's horn while playing hide-and-seek at night in front of the National Ranching Heritage Center. Noah Barthe, Connor Barthe, 2013. Two young brothers, aged 4 and 6, were killed by an African rock python during a sleepover at their friend's apartment in New Brunswick, Canada. It had escaped from its enclosure in the apartment and slithered through the ducts until it fell through the ceiling of the bedroom where they slept. Though it suffocated them, it did not attempt to eat them. Oh, that sucks. Hayato Tsuruta, 28, from Japan, with intellectual disabilities, ran away from his residential facility and went to a supermarket. There he consumed so many donuts that he choked to death. I'll be perfectly honest, I could really go for a donut right now. That guy went out how I want to go out. I want to go out choking on some donuts. Hevel Yildirim, 2014. Hevel Yildirim, 13, of Turkey, was killed when a sacrificial goat brought for El Ida jumped off the roof over a protective fence and fell onto him. His father had placed it on the roof of the building where he lived because he could not find another suitable place to keep it. Christopher De Margerie, 20th of October 2014. Christopher De Margerie, an oil executive, was killed when his corporate jet collided with a snow plow reportedly driven by a drunk driver. Oh wow. Fen Pang, 2014. Fen Pang, a chef in Foshan, China, was bitten by a cobra's severed head, which he had cut off 20 minutes later while preparing soup. Peter Zangzula, 2014. Peter Zangzula, an Indian Association football player from Mizoram State, died after sustaining spinal cord injuries while awkwardly landing a somersault celebrating a goal. Philip Hughes, 27th of November 2014. Hughes was killed by a bouncer striking his neck during a cricket match, causing a vertebral artery dissection. I don't know what the fuck that means. Jalen Rippey, 2nd of July 2015. Jalen Rippey, 5, was killed by a leaping sturgeon while she was boating with her family near Fanning Springs, Florida. Her mother, Tanya Faye, 31, and her brother, Trevor, 9, were also injured and needed facial reconstruction surgery. How big do sturgeons get? that it hurt the entire goddamn family. I need a cracker. Charmaine Maxwell, 2015. And a drink. Let's drink. Charmaine Maxwell, a member of the American R&B group Brownstone, died after falling backwards while holding a wine glass. During the fall, it shattered on the ground behind her head, and the shards pierced her neck, causing profuse bleeding. Chelsea Ake-Salvicon, 2015. Chelsea Ake-Salvicon, 24, an employee of a beauty salon in Henderson, Nevada, was suffocated while using a cryotherapy machine set to the wrong level, which eliminated the oxygen in the chamber. Lee Jane, 2015. Lee Jane, 57, an English lorry driver, was run over by his own skip lorry as it careened towards the hospital building after failing to engage the handbrake. Ravi Subramanian, 2015. Ravi Subramanian, an Air India technician, was sucked into an aircraft's jet engine. Stephen Winfrey, 2015. Stephen Winfrey, 50, became trapped and asphyxiated while rabbiting near Donchester, England, after his head became stuck down a rabbit hole. I assume if you get your head stuck down there, you should be able to rip your head out. My God. Okay. V. Kamaraj, 2016. V. Kamaraj, a 40-year-old Indian bus driver, was claimed by a local Indian newspapers to have been killed by a meteorite which left a 2-foot crater. Although officials from NASA opposed that view, saying that the most likely explanation was a land-based explosion. According to preliminary reports by the National College Instrumentation Facility in Tricity, a scanning electron microscope study on the evidence of the sample retrieved from the campus in Vellore, from where the bust occurred, showed the presence of carbonaceous chondrites. What the fuck? I know science, but these words are too big. Lottie Michelle Belk? I don't know which. 2016. Lottie Michelle Belk, 55, was fatally stabbed in the chest by a beach umbrella blown by strong winds in Virginia Beach, Florida. Wind speeds at the time reached 20 to 25 miles per hour. All the more reason for me to fear the wind. Jesus. Caleb Schwab, 2016. Caleb Schwab, 10, was decapitated when he was ejected from his raft on Baruch, a 168-foot tall water slide in Schlichterbahn, Kansas City. Irma Blue, 2016. Irma Blue, 29, an Indonesian dangdut star who performed with live snakes, died during a concert after being bitten by a king cobra and refusing treatment. Anton Yelchin, 2016. Anton Yelchin, 27, an American actor known for portraying Pavel Chekhov in the Star Trek reboot movie series, was found pinned between his car and a brick wall. His driveway was on an incline and his car was found running and in neutral. Unknown, 2016. A 7-year-old girl died after being struck by a stone thrown by an elephant from its enclosure at a zoo in Rabat, Morocco. I'm not allowed back to Morocco. Christopher Moles and Timothy Gillum Jr., 2016. Christopher Moles, 26, a corrections officer, and Timothy Gillum Jr., 27, an out-of-county inmate being housed at Loomis County Correctional Facility in Ladder County, Pennsylvania, fell to their deaths after an altercation between them caused them to slam into the exterior of the 5th floor of elevator doors, despite the elevator having its up-to-date working credentials. Upon impact, the doors popped open, causing the men to fall 5 flights down the shaft to their deaths. The county declared C.O. Mule's death a homicide and declared Gilliam's death an accident. Okay, 10 people. The 21st of November 2016. In the 21st of November 2016, a powerful southerly change in Melbourne, Australia, resulted in the death of 10 asthmatic people who succumbed to respiratory failure. This was due to a stark 10-kilometer-per-hour wind that distributed ryegrass pollen in the moist air, rupturing them into very fine specks, particles small enough to enter people's lungs. Charlie Holt, 2017. Charlie Holt 5 was killed at the Sundial, a rotating restaurant at the top of West Petrie Plaza Hotel in Atlanta, Georgia. His head was caught in the small space between the rotating and non-rotating sections. Oh, that's just a tragedy. Akbar Salbrio, 2017. Akbar Salbrio, 25, was killed and swallowed by a reticulated python in Indonesia. In the first fully confirmed case of a snake swallowing an adult human. A second case there happened the following year when another reticulated python killed and swallowed a woman in her garden. Robert Dreyer, 2017. Robert Dreyer, 89, crashed his car into a fire hydrant, then was swallowed by the sinkhole created by the broken water line which had fed the hydrant. What? Which killed him? The crash or the fucking sinkhole? Which? Deborah Byard, 2017. Deborah Byard, 58, died after falling from a golf cart onto the shards of wine glass that had broken in her hands in Calaveras County, Florida. Rebecca Berger, funny name, 2017. Rebecca Berger, 33, a fitness blogger and model, died after a pressurized canister of whipped cream exploded and struck her in the chest. The injury caused her to go to cardiac arrest. Hider Kamaz, I probably butchered that. 2017, Hider Kamaz, 42, a Turkish-Dutch drug dealer and informant, died when he threw his fishhook into the electric wire while fencing. Though he was a witness in the case against Dutch criminal William Helander, he was not important to it, and authorities treated it as an accident. Elizabeth Isherwood, 2017. Elizabeth Isherwood, 60, walked naked into an airing cupboard in the village she was renting and shut the door. When she tried to leave, part of the door handle broke off in her hand. She dug into the wall and attempted to escape, was struck and burst a pipe, which sprayed water into the cupboard and caused her eventual death by hypothermia. She was found several days later. Why she had shoved herself in there in the first place remains unknown. Okay. Rialdo Matias Santos, 22nd of October 2017, 49-year-old Rialdo Matias Santos drowned in a bucket of water in Jingara, Brazil. Santos, intoxicated and attempted to fetch a 20-liter bucket of water, tripped and fell in kneeling position. He was epileptic. Alexander Cheshkit, 27th of November 2017. Cheshkit sent his friend a photo of a grenade with a pin pulled out while chatting on a Russian social media service, VK. He died shortly after sending the photo as the grenade in his hand exploded. Police, however, ruled the incident as an accident instead of a suicide. Rasaj Maru, 28. Rasaj Maru, 32, died at Nair Hospital in Mumbai after carrying a medical oxygen tank into the room housing an MRI scanner. His magnetic field pulled him in and pinned his hand and breaching the tank, releasing liquid oxygen. An hospital employee had asked him to transfer the tank. His hospitalized relative would need it during her scan. An autopsy showed that he died instantly from pneumothorax brought on by exposure to very high levels of leaked oxygen. Conflicting reports state 2 or 3 hospital employees were arrested for negligence. The Maharashtra state government compensated Maru's family 500,000 rupees. Oh God, we're almost done. We are almost done. We are in the last stretch. I can't believe I'm celebrating this much. Elaine Hertzberg, 2018. I'm going through a mental fucking breakdown through this. 49 of Tempe, Arizona, died after being hit by a self-driving car operated by Uber as she crossed the road, in which was reported to be the first death of a pedestrian struck by a self-driving car on public roads. In response to the fatal accident, Uber suspended self-driving car tests in all U.S. cities. Astef Rafiq, 2018. Astef Rafiq, 24, died from cardiac arrest in a movie theater in Birmingham, England. While looking for his dropped mobile phone, his head became wedged under the electronic footrest of a seat. Kyle Plush, 10th of April 2018. On the 10th of April 2018, 60-year-old Kyle Plush died after becoming trapped in his Honda Odyssey, which was in his school parking lot in Cincinnati, Ohio. Attempting to reach his tennis equipment, he leaned over the third row of the seats into the trunk. When the former squashed his chest, he became pinned and later died. During the incident, he called 911 twice by using Apple's iPhone and Siri voice activation. Responding to the calls, police were not able to find him. He was eventually discovered in the vehicle by his father about 6 hours later. Oh, that's sad. Jennifer Rorden, 27th of April 2018. Jennifer Rorden, 43, a passenger aboard Southwest Airlines Flight 1380, died after debris from an engine failure destroyed a window near her seat and she was partially blown through it. Hilgard Whitting, 2018. Hilgard Whitting, 77, died of suffocation from the carbon dioxide vapors produced by 4 dry ice coolers in the Dippin' Dots living car. The car was borrowed by the delivery man's wife to take Whitting home. Sam Billard, 2018. Sam Billard, 29, died from angioscytosis after eating a garden slug as a dare 8 years earlier. God, that snail was biding his fucking time. I need another drink. And I think some crumbs from the crackers fell in my pants. Oh God. This is not a comfortable feel. Come on. Slap in my face. I can do it. I'm probably gonna have a mental breakdown, but I can do it. Linda Goldblum, 2018. Linda Goldblum, 79, died after being hit by a foul ball at Dodger Stadium. Her death was the first in 50 years directly attributed to this. Salvador DC, 2019. Salvador DC, 62, was decapitated while using a power cart to jumpstart a helicopter in Hernando County, Florida. It It is unexpected up and down's motivation called the rollerblades to strike him. Unknown. January 2029. Unknown. January 2019. A man died from being trampled by an elephant while he attempted to hypnotize it by raising his hand upon his face at Yala National Park, Sri Lanka. The incident was recorded on video. Derek Hickey. The 5th of April 2019. On the 5th of April 2019, Derek Hickey, a 51-year-old wedding planner from Horwich, England, died after eating a scalding hot fish cake at a wedding. The cause of death was ruled to be asphyxiation. The pathologist who confirmed his autopsy called the case extremely rare and likened the symptoms to those victims who had inhaled smoke during house fires. Paul McDonald. 17th of April 2019. Paul McDonald, 47, was attacked and killed by a pet deer on his property in northeast Victoria, Australia. Elena Suthers Gardner, July 2019. Elena Suthers Gardner, 60, of Broadside, Dorset, England, was carrying a mason jar style drinking glass with a screw top lid in her kitchen when she collapsed. Its 10-inch stainless steel straw entered her left eye socket, pierced her brain. Ooh, that's vivid. Zavar Kuzu, 4th of July 2019, in an attempt to escape community service, sentenced for inflicting injury. A 24-year-old Zavar Kuzu from Erzurum, Turkey, attempted to get himself injured and hospitalized by putting 2 pillows on his back and asking a friend to shoot him with a shotgun, firing buckshot, hoping the pillows would reduce the shot's power. The plan backfired as the gunshot still killed Kuzu and his friends suffered injuries. Yulia Sharkom, 21, was... Okay, this is Yulia Sharkom, 8th of September 2019, Yulia Sharkom, 21, was leading through a car window when her 2-year-old daughter activated the window control button. The window closed and Sharkom was strangled. Palmaya Kramer, 27th of October 2019. Palmer Kramer, 56, of Marion County, Iowa, was killed during an explosion at a gender reveal party. In an attempt to film a gender reveal worthy of posting online, members of her family filled a steel umbrella stand with gunpowder. Instead of emitting a shower of sparks as intended, the metal pipe failed to contain the overpressure, and the device acted as a pipe bomb instead. Kramer was struck in the head by a metal fragment and was killed instantly. Tetsu Shiohara, 28th of October 2019. Tetsu Shiohara, a hiker from Tokyo, attempted to livestream an off-season ascent of Mount Fuji on the 28th of October 2019, only to fall to his death meters from the summit. Shortly before his fatal fall, he expressed that this part is dangerous. Can't be helped, though. He then lost his footing, sliding down a 30-degree incline before falling off the side of the mountain. During the fall, Shiohara's camera captured some footage of him beginning to tumble down the slope. Michelle Kosanovic, 7th of December 2019. Michael Kosanovic, 21, was crushed by a 2002 Lexus IS 300s in South Jamaica, Queens, New York City, after its owner started it by remote control. It rolled forward, and he was pinned between 2 vehicles. Bystanders tried to push them apart, but as they did so, the car rolled forward and crushed him again. Kosanovic was taken to a hospital with severe trauma to his toe and legs. Thank you, Owly, for following. With severe trauma to his torso and legs, and died of his injuries on the 7th of December. Okay. Last part, the 2010s. After this, I am going to drink so much water and eat so much ice cream because my throat hurts like a motherfucker. Let's do this. Sergio Milan, 14th of January 2020. Sergio Milan, 59, was alone in his apartment in Torreforta, Tarragona, Spain, when an explosion in a petrochemical plant 3 kilometers away launched a 1-ton iron plate into the apartment above him, which caused the ceiling to collapse and kill him. 3 kilometers away. Oh, wow. Valentin Didniko, Yuri Alvarov, and Natalia Monakova. I probably butchered those. 29th of February 2020, 3 people died of carbon dioxide suffocation and drowning when 23 kilograms of dry ice was thrown into an indoor swimming pool at a sauna party in Moscow to create a layer of thick white fog over the surface. The carbon dioxide from the dry ice displaced the oxygen. Yondis Bodhisattsono, probably butchered that too. 11th of June 2020, Yondis Bodhisattsono, a 21-year-old man, was killed in the middle of the road while riding his motorcycle in Sukrata. A 5-meter-long, very thin glass kite line which had been stuck at a nearby electrical pole struck his neck and cut his neck artery. Ooh. Angus Sayaful Rochman, 20th of October 2020. Angus Sayaful Rochman, 58, died when he was jogging around his neighborhood in Trexalec, East Java. I probably butchered those all. A block of wood which was being used by a child nearby as a base for a kite line managed to slip from the child's hands, hitting the back of Rashman's head and killing him instantly. Unknown, 2020. A 54-year-old man from Massachusetts, United States, died after eating a bag and a half of black licorice every day for a few weeks, which caused such low potassium levels that his heart stopped. What? Licorice contains glycemic acid, which along with its metabolic gyric acid interferes with the body's potassium levels by mimicking the hormone aldosterone, resulting in excessive excretion of the nutrient in cases of overconsumption, a condition referred to as pseudo-hyperaldosteronism. I probably butchered all those words. Final one. May. This one's an unknown person. In May of this year, the body of a 39-year-old man was found wedged inside a papier-mâché statue of a stegosaurus in the town of Santa Coloma de Gramenet, Catalonia, Spain. Initial police reports did not suspect foul play. A representative of the local police force hypothesized that this individual may have crawled inside headfirst to retrieve a lost mobile phone before his leg became stuck, trapping him inside. Firefighters had to cut the statue apart to extract the body. Police observers believe the man may have been trapped there for a couple of days. Local media sources claimed that the family of the victim had reported him missing only hours prior to the discovery. The body was discovered when the man and his son noticed the unusual smell from the statue and saw a body through the crack in the statue. Alright, that was a long article and my throat is raw. I expected to do 5 articles today, like I did last time. I only managed to do 1. I'm not proud of myself. Fuck my throat. We are nearing the 2-hour mark. I guess we're gonna have to wait for Oliver Cromwell's head next time. Okay. You know what we're gonna do next time? Next time, I got requests for Oliver Cromwell's head, Piascana, Amino Koivun, and I think we should also cover the human claw horse sex case. But, oh my god, that was fucking... And there's also the list of common misconceptions, which I feel like it's another one that's gonna take an entire fucking episode. Oh my god, oh, fuck. Damn. Anyway, to those who just joined right as we were ending, I am so sorry. Oh, fuck. Anyway, no matter if you're just coming in now or you came in earlier, thank you so much for watching. God, I need to lie down. I hope you were glad to witness my mental breakdown. I want you all viewers to fuck off and have a great day. Holy shit. Oh.